You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast, hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.
Welcome to another episode of Oversaturated, the podcast, where we discuss music, movies, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Johnnie.
And I'm Ralph.
Welcome to episode number 111.
Wow, 111, man. I'm Ralph, a.k.a. Q Shiesty.
Cute. Oh, I like that. I see what you did there. New listeners, please follow us on all social media. Facebook, just search Oversaturated, the podcast. Twitter is Oversat Podcast. Instagram is Oversat the Podcast, and our email is oversatpodcast@gmail.com. And make sure you check out our website, oversatthepod.com. Everything you need to know about OS is there.
Yes, sir. And if you want to follow us individually, I am the Mind of Ralph on Instagram and Twitter.
On Twitter, I'm JON2_, the letter B. On Instagram, I'm JBS_ESL_AAMU. Ralph, my guy. Fresh off vacation.
Yeah, man.
I got nothing for this week.
Hey, man. I'm rejuvenated, bro. I'm feeling great. Me and the wife went to Hilton Head Island in South Carolina. I'm very unfamiliar with this place. Never heard of it until we booked the trip there.
Mm-hmm.
The geography of the United States is very, very interesting. I didn't know that there was an island that's kind of like inland almost, but it's on the coast of South Carolina. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Don't, let South Carolina fool you. There's some beautiful geography down there.
That's dope.
Like the landscape, it's palm trees, it's beautiful sand. We had beachfront. We was on the beachfront resort. Yeah, beachfront resort. So we had a good time, man. It was like the waves were like just, man. It was just breathtaking. It was just fun. It was like any word I can think, any superlative I can think.
That's what's up, man. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, man. I'm glad y'all were able to take that trip with each other and relax, detach. Yeah, man.
It started off kind of rocky though. Like, man, and this is not anything new, but I think the price of the brick went up since outside is open. Certain things, I'm just like, come on, fam. But in Enterprise rental car, they big trash, but made it through the weekend. You know what I'm saying? But
damn.
just it was a hell of a way to start the trip. Mm-hmm. I'll say that. Just my blood pressure was raised, like kind of like how we talked about with your situation.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as yours. Like if we're comparing, but just in the context of what I had going, that was that bullshit. But
it turned out great though.
It turned out great.
Okay.
It started off rocky, like we talked about. Would you rather begin your trip or end it?
Yeah.
It started off rocky. Like after the plane, as soon as I got off the plane, it was like 1, 2, 3 punches.
Damn.
But once it settled, it was great.
Yeah. Damn. I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah, man. And like we talked about, in pre-production, I just kind of deleted all my social media apps. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't really care. I appreciate the 0 dark 30, if you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
It felt great not to be plugged in. Mm-hmm. All I did was watch, catch a few games here and there, but that's about it. No social media.
Good. And you need that. Like I don't know if people realize, but you need to detach at some point. Like we all we're all on social media probably a lot of the time. Catching up, just keeping up with what's going on with people and letting people know what's going on with us. And that can take a toll mentally that we don't even really know about. So if you have the opportunity, take a day, 2 days, a week when you go on vacation, detach. Still taking pictures and all that. And when you get back, post them shits. You ain't gotta post them in the moment. So If you're not watching on YouTube, I am rocking a bonnet today during today's episode in solidarity with all the women that like to go and do their everyday task in bonnets. If you like to travel in your bonnet, I'm standing in solidarity with y'all.
If you stand in real solidarity, you'll go to Walgreens just like that.
Facts. No. No. I'm just doing it on the pod just to let the ladies know. Listen,
Gotcha.
I see you. I see you.
Gotcha.
It's been a lot of heat on women for whatever reason about wearing bonnets out.
Yeah, I wear my bonnet in the safety of my house. Or
Yeah.
the sanctity of my house.
I mean, for me personally, there's no reason for me to wear a bonnet outside the house. So I'm not doing it. But if you choose to do that, then that's on you. Not saying I'm not secretly judging in my head. But it still ain't got nothing to do with me. If you want to be, if that's comfortable to you, if you got to protect your hair, if it's raining, or I'm not sure why women wear bonnets out. I don't know, but it's none of my business.
Okay, I guess that's the biggest thing there. It's
none of my business.
It's none of my business.
So if that's what you're doing, yeah.
Like I know why, but it's just like it's still none of my business.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on underneath there.
Exactly. Maybe she had to run out and grab something from Walgreens to finish her hair. Like I don't know. I'm just letting y'all know that I'm standing in solidarity with y'all.
Big facts. I'm still on vacation vibes, baby.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Hey, I'm not mad at it. I am not mad at it. Well, all right. You want to get to it?
Yep. Off the dome.
Off the dome. I'll take it first. Mine is kind of light.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a big fan of like game shows.
Yeah.
TV game shows. Wheel of Fortune. There's this new show. Well, the second season of it just started called The Chase. It's like a trivia type of show.
Okay.
I love these game shows. So, and I watched a lot of them growing up with my mom, my sister, grandmothers.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask you, like, what's your favorite game show, and then what game show do you think you would totally kill at if you wanted?
My favorite is probably Jeopardy because I'm a big trivia buff. Like I love history and random facts and things like that.
I like that.
But would I kill at it? Absolutely not. I don't think I'll be able to do it. But I think my favorite game show, and I probably have the most fun, and it depends on the game that they give me. Some Price is Right. That was just something that me and my grandmother watched a lot when I was growing up. So I have an affinity for Bob Barker. I feel like he's a great uncle or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
no, for real.
Bob Barker's a smooth white man.
Like his voice is like ever etched in my brain. Come on down. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but it was a dope good show, and then they had games on type of games. So you never know which one the cards you was gonna be dealt, quote unquote, to really know.
Interesting you say that. There's a documentary on Netflix. I forget what it's called, but it's about this guy that actually made his own algorithm of the Price is Right games and was like beating it, and like he was like giving people like the prices of the items in game, and they like almost banned him for life because he was like helping people win and stuff. It was a really good documentary. Oh, I gotta find the name of that. I just randomly watched it one morning. But anyway, so my favorite and one I think I'd kill it is Wheel of Fortune. Like I love Wheel of Fortune. Whenever I could catch it growing up, after school, just go home and watch it around the table, eating dinner with my mom and my sister, and we just spitting out the letters and figuring out the phrases and stuff. Just a big part of my childhood, man. I think I would kill it. I think I would kill it.
Dope.
Yeah, man.
Dope. I'm surprised we didn't pick any of the Nickelodeon game shows like Double Dare, Legends of the Hidden Temple, stuff like that. Guts.
Well, I mean, those are more physical, which is nothing wrong with that. But I mean, I'd rather like just stand and solve some shit. So, but Legends of the Hidden Temple was coming back. Did you see that as an adult show?
I think I saw that.
Yeah, they're casting right now. I think it's gonna be on the CW. So I'm interested in seeing how that's gonna be as an adult game show. There's some shit on Netflix called The Floor is Lava. Have you seen that?
No, it sounds like some hot shit though.
Like somebody was high and just came up with it.
Well, I mean, you always played that game as a child, so how can you flip that to a game? You know what I'm saying?
Like literally, they got orange reddish water, but then you got to get through these obstacles to get to the other side of the room. I mean, it's cool. I watched a couple episodes. It's cool. You know, it's an adult shit. So,
that's what's up. But my off the dome. Album covers are big things, man. Like they introduce your music to people that are fans and maybe people that are new fans or wanting to become fans. But there are often times where these album covers take a turn for the worse. So what is your worst album cover that you've ever seen? Not the music.
Not just the cover.
Just the cover.
Oh, that's a good question. I'm going through my mental Rolodex of album covers. The worst. Shoot, probably any mixtape cover. Any mixtape cover that tries to portray like the artist as an anime character. I feel like I've seen a bunch of them where people tried to be like Super Saiyan Goku that didn't quite sit right. Like I can't give you a specific artist, but I know I've seen at least 2 of them.
The animation was off.
Yeah. Interesting. But I'm trying to think of like an album. So that's my answer. But I'm trying to think of like a bad, like LP album cover.
Well, I'll give you my answer. My answer is actually Sheik Luch's album. I think it's like Donnie G, the gorilla, or some goofy shit like that. But it's half his face and half a gorilla's face. Like, and he liked to go by Silverback Gorilla, but that wasn't it.
It was bad.
Like now, listen, this album cover was complete, you know, for the lack of better words, turn off. So I was like, I'm not listening to this shit. I'm not.
I mean, and that can happen.
And I've heard people
that can happen.
laud that this is Sheik's like one of his better projects. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I'm not listening to this.
That's like, listen, it happens. Like that, something as simple as the album art can deter you from wanting to listen to it. So I'm not mad at that at all.
Absolutely, it was not happening for me.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm still gonna have to go with like those mixtape covers where the artist tries to portray like an anime character and the animation is just off. No, thank you. I can't. I don't know.
Well, that was off the dome, people. That was off the dome. What's the worst album cover you ever seen?
Yeah, man. And what is your favorite game show? And what game show do you think you would absolutely kill at?
Yep. Man, let's get into this always news docket, man. You know how we give it up. Usually we have a stacked stuff for you this week, but it's kind of light. But you know, we're going to make do what it do. We got some good stuff to discuss for you. But first, on the docket, we have a versus announced.
Yeah.
Eve and Trina, the Diamond Princess and the Pit Bull in the skirt, have decided to square off on the stage that matters.
The stage that matters.
Versus TV. Johnnie, your thoughts?
When I saw people tweeting it before I saw the official announcement, I was like, wait, what? That don't even sound in my mind. I was like, that don't even sound right. Then I saw the official announcement. I was like, oh, this is real. I don't really know how I feel about this. Off the rip, I feel like this is kind of lopsided because with Eve, like Eve has a lot to pull from, and she has those mega hits like with Gwen Stefani and all that type of stuff. And maybe I just don't know enough of Trina's catalog to really make a proper like decision as to what will happen. Because the few songs I know of Trina's like some hits, but I don't think she got enough to really. Trina doesn't have anything that's a guaranteed W over Eve, I believe.
I believe it. I can rock with that. The thing with Eve has the monstrous hits, but Eve stopped rapping. There's arguably more songs that Trina can pull from, I would say. So Trina kept going well into like the mid 2010s. Okay. So true. Those features here and there, Trina, you got she can.
But like what songs or features from 2010 and beyond do you think she'll play?
Nah, Eve was on there too, so I can't say that. Well, I was gonna say My Chick Bad remix. What was Eve on there? No, it was Diamond, Trina, and Nicki. Yeah. What was Eve on there? I think Eve stopped rapping.
I don't think Eve was on there.
I think the last song that Eve got is Tambourine, and that's circa 2008, 9.
Yep.
So
Trina, yeah, you're right. Trina does have a longer
a longer stretch of songs that she can possibly pull from. So Trina never stopped rapping. She never stopped touring. So Trina got stuff. It may not be as recognizable as a Eve on, with Gwen Stefani or like even Eve on Hot Boys Remix, my shit. But I don't think it's gonna be lopsided like that. And then these women virtually have no beef. Right. It's not gonna be that. But if there's an official scorecard, you're gonna be partial to one side.
True. And I am interested as to what the setup is going to be. Are they going to be like on the same stage where they're going to actually perform some of these songs, or they're just going to be sitting pretty, let the DJ play? Like I'm curious to that as well, because do you think that would have an impact on who would win and who would lose?
Well, I really hate the Verzuz have gotten away from this because it has taken away from the competitive spirit.
True.
I won't call a winner or loser for this.
Okay.
I just won't.
And honestly, that's pretty much where we at with Verzuz now. Like nobody's actually versusing each other anymore. Like it's literally what it has been, at least since they transitioned to Triller.
Yeah.
Like these are concerts, which I'm not mad at, but I wish they would call it something different, like concerts featured concerts sponsored by Verzuz or something like that. Like come up with a different name, because these aren't battles anymore. These are concerts. So I don't know, but I am interested to see this, and this is on the 16th. Is that this week?
Mm-hmm.
That's in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's during the week. So, who's actually going to watch this?
Depends on what's on TV that night.
True. Playoffs happening, so I don't know.
Oh yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how many people tune in. So shout out to Eve, shout out to Trina, shout out to Verzuz, and Soulja Boy and Bow Wow has been confirmed. I was skeptical at first because we didn't get an official announcement. So that's happening on June 26th, and then we have a mystery Verzuz on July 1st, and this is in partnership with Essence. So I'm assuming it's going to be at the Essence Fest. So interesting to see who that'll be. Probably some groups or something.
That's dope. Yeah. Man, Big Draco, man. They need Verzuz need him. He don't need Verzuz.
You think? Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's going to be interesting. I'm going to try to tune into that.
Because Soulja Boy's selling the fight. He's selling it. He's selling it like it's the OG Verzuz. So I'll watch that.
I hope they on stage like together and they performing this shit.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it is. Like
they gonna be Soulja Boy definitely gonna be talking big shit, and I just feel like inherently Bow Wow's gonna be talking shit as well. Yeah. They probably both gonna be drunk too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bow Wow, shout out to Soulja Boy.
Yeah, those guys are definitely gonna be drunk, and drunk. Being drunk definitely makes you say crazy things, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're just inebriated. So I wonder was Offset drunk when he said this. Offset said Migos popularized rapping about nothing with a good flow.
First of all, nice segue, my guy. I peeped that. Offset. In reading that quote, I'm like, okay. Maybe they did popularize a particular type of cadence.
Yeah.
A particular type of cadence, yes, I can agree with him on that.
Yeah. But
to say that they invented rapping about nothing with a particular cadence, I don't know if I can agree with that. And I was trying to think of what other artists I can apply that to, but I wasn't really able to come up with anybody. So it's like, I don't know. I'm back and forth with that.
People get away with not saying nothing as long as the cadence and flow are good. I feel like we created that. That is his direct quote. He recently had an interview with Billboard magazine, so that's where that comes from. So it's interesting when these rappers, especially when they're new, in the sense of Migos still being, new, as big as they are, as I would, or you would have to say, as legendary as they are.
Yeah.
That they had to lay claim to something. But I wouldn't want to lay claim to this, especially when people have always hated on y'all from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
So I would take my place in hip hop history along with great groups because that's what you guys are.
Yeah.
I would, I was saying I would say it's the best rapper in the goddamn group. But why would you say that?
You think so?
I would say clearly.
Mm-hmm.
No debate.
I might debate.
Who? Quavo?
No, take off. I mean, that's fine. So I don't know. Like I don't know if I agree with this quote. Like Ralph said, Migos is definitely a legendary group in hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
They did usher in an entire era, and at this point, the Migos are veterans in rap. Like the fact that to be honest, the fact that they're even still around and they just put out their new album, like, speaks volumes because a lot of acts in hip hop don't last this long now in today's time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that in itself is dope. But this quote, man,
I hate that he said this. It's you know how people want to put the joke on themselves, like
mm-hmm.
self-denigrating or things like that.
Yeah.
I hate but you don't have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Because you fought through that. You know what I'm saying? When people said you were mumbling, you guys weren't saying anything, but the hits kept coming, the success kept coming.
Right.
Like, everybody started mimicking what they thought was trash.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear this from you. I want you to respect yourself.
Yeah. He really didn't have to say this. Like,
He didn't. He didn't. But he had to lay claim to something. And I think that's where that comes from, you know?
My thing is first of all, the fact that they've lasted this long in the game
mm-hmm.
is great. So just keep doing, keep putting out the music you can put out.
Yeah. Because
Culture 3 is actually a decent album.
Mm-hmm.
And let the culture, let the fans speak to your greatness. Y'all already know because y'all doing it, y'all have done it. But let the fans and the culture say, damn, the Migos been doing their shit for hellas. Like, you don't have to say this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Let us say it for you.
Exactly. But no, let's get into Culture 3 since you brought it up.
Yes, sir.
We try to get into new albums and things like that when things come out. It's summer, so it's hot. Everything's coming. It's shake your DSPs weekly because they coming with it.
Facts.
Culture 3, the long-awaited album, you can say, by the Migos has finally dropped in their Culture series, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
19 songs. A little bit over an hour.
Yeah.
Kind of like a throwback album in this sense.
True.
Johnny, what's your thoughts on it, man?
I never in my life would have thought that I would say a Migos album was dope.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed this album. I
Okay.
thoroughly enjoyed this album. Have you seen the video for Avalanche?
No, I haven't seen anything.
Dope. Like that video was dope. It's them in the studio, with a retro type of vibe because they sample Papa Was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
They look like an old school group, and they they got the microphones in front of them. They got suits on, and they rapping their verses. I
love it.
It's definitely a vibe, as the kids say. But it's a lot of songs on this album that I really mess with. Of course, Straight, and that was like the lead single.
Yeah.
Avalanche is dope.
Mm-hmm.
Cardi B had a fire feature on Type Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Roadrunner was dope. Mahomes is actually a really dope song on her as well. And I want to hear more. I want to hear Migos more on these drill beats. They got a song with Pop Smoke that I think fits them well and their style of rap. Mm-hmm. So I really like Light It Up. That's the song with Pop Smoke. So I really enjoyed this album. I really did.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because outside is open or what, but I enjoyed it.
Well, Johnny enjoys the Migos album. You already know. You gotta sell me on it. Like it's a dope, solid project. I never really liked Culture 2 like that. But Culture 3 is definitely something I can rock with. The features were well placed. Even the Aubrey feature was interesting. It's just like he rapped half the song and then the Migos rapped the other.
Yeah, right.
Which is crazy. I've heard better Migos Drake collabs, obviously, right? They usually don't miss. Like you said, the Pop Smoke feature was well placed. Even the Juice WRLD feature. I like that. Even though these are posthumous features, they actually work, especially in the flow of the album. It kind of makes you sad because you kind of wonder what a Juice WRLD or a Pop feature would have brought to this album if they were alive to actually be in the studio or however they do it, however they got it done. I thoroughly enjoyed the album. Like the album's pretty dope.
Yeah. The thing I noticed about this album is I think. I don't know their exact ages, but I know they're all around 30-ish. And the fact that they have been in the game for like 8 or so years, a lot of this album sounds like a seasoned version of the Migos, which I think is dope. Like as young as they actually are, but as long as they've been in the game, they're able to grow as artists, and I really like that. I really, really like that. I like to hear it. I like to see it. It's dope, man. And they talking their shit throughout the album. I love it. Shout out to the Migos, man.
Yeah, shout out to Migos, man. I appreciate you guys.
Facts. What other new music are you listening to?
I checked out Larry Jones' project, Orange Sprint.
Okay.
Larry Jones, I wouldn't say that I've listened to him before, but I have heard of him through social media chatter and people, talking about his music. So when I saw a new project, let me check it out. I think that is cool. I think it's kind of like in the vein of what a Dom Kennedy or Currency provides. Okay. So if that's your steez, you'll find yourself enjoying this album. I definitely vibe to it. I played it through. Like I've never heard projects from those type of artists where it's just horrible. Because I don't know if I'm listening to the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
So, but I mean, this Larry June project is dope. He's a Cali artist, so I think he's from Sacramento. So
got you. I listened to the Voice of the Heroes, Lil Baby and Lil Durk. Solid album.
Yeah, it's definitely outside of the sun is shining. Johnnie's talking about a lot of littles.
Hey, these are facts. Hey man, I don't know where Lil Baby came from, but he be rapping. He be rapping, and it's interesting. So he has his own style because he raps with the auto tune.
Yeah. But
he's good at it though. I guess he likes for his voice to sound that way, which is not an issue because it's not annoying. But he's actually rapping, and I understand what you were saying last week when you talked about Lil Durk, being there, not being shown up, but he's or
drawn out or carried on the song. It's he's doing what he do.
Yeah,
I think he may not match the lyricism, but he's matching the intensity.
Yeah, right.
So
they complement each other. So
yes, exactly.
And I think you mentioned this. Are they on 2 different labels?
I would believe so. Yeah, Lil Durk is definitely not QC.
Okay. Yeah. That's crazy. The fact that they were able to do this album and they're on different labels like that, because I didn't think that was a thing.
And you know who ain't collaborating? Migos and Lil Baby, and they own the same label.
Oh.
That's a silent beef there, man. I don't know why they don't fuck with each other, man.
Which is crazy because they will make some heat. I feel like they will make some heat, especially today.
I forgot what. Well, I know it's a reason out there. I just haven't dove all the way into it because it might be petty in the large scheme of things. I think it's QC's direction has turned from Migos to Baby. And I know they can cause a friction, you know what I'm saying? Because Migos is A-list, talent, and you should treat them as such. But when you got a new hot artist, you got to cultivate and things like that.
Right. And I feel like the Migos, like I was just saying, Migos are veterans in hip hop. So I feel like they shouldn't need as much attention as a Lil Baby because Lil Baby is on a run right now.
I think the thing with that is it's just a lot of these guys, and P is included in that. They preach family, right? So you shouldn't show more love to one son than the other, or more love.
You think that's what it is? He's showing more love?
Absolutely.
Listen, I don't be paying attention like that.
You've seen it throughout other record labels. So I wouldn't say you have to pay attention to this necessarily, but just look at the landscape or think about family.
That's crazy. they gotta relax because they will put out some shit shit for real.
QC, they were the kings of QC. I know Cardi is, I think she's QC or adjacent in a sense. I don't think she's directly under P, but they do have a business relationship of sorts, I believe. So, but of all the QC artists, Migos was them niggas for a very, very long time.
Yeah, definitely.
They had other artists, but Migos was always them. Then Lil Baby just came along and
all the focus shifted to him.
It be like that.
Did you have any other new music?
Yeah, I have one more. I listened to Polo G's album. He's a, on our hip hop top earners album, top verse earners, all that. Drill music, that's your thing. I think this is probably the most commercial I've ever heard Polo G. I do enjoy, his rap singing type of thing that he provides. Epidemic has always been a dope song to me. It's just talking about the falling comrades and friends and maybe gang members, so I just enjoyed that, like Broadway feature, Lil Wayne feature. Listen, I fuck with this album. Then Lil Baby, the Baby is on here, so maybe that's $300,000 that went down. The Baby actually rapped on this project, and then there's a Pop Smoke feature as well. So Pop Smoke getting a lot of love from Beyond the Grave, which is great to see.
Yeah.
He probably would have collabed with any drill artist or anybody like that. So I'm not saying that this collab probably wouldn't have happened.
Gotcha. So that's what's up, man. I got one more too. So Ransom put out a project. I don't know if I would call this an album or not, but it's called 7.
Yeah.
And each song is titled after one of the 7 deadly sins.
Okay.
And it's 23 minutes of just straight, just bars, just spitting. There's a Lloyd Banks feature. There's a Royce the 5'9" feature. JR, I'm not familiar with that artist, but he went off as well. It starts off with Envy and ends with Pride. This is a great project. Like something you can ride to the grocery store to, something you can listen to real quick. So I would definitely check that out. That's 7 by Ransom. But this track with Royce the 5'9", man, like I don't whatever. I guess Royce getting sober or whatever, but he has been rapping his ass off the last 5 or so years. Like it's insane. So, and Lloyd Banks being back, him putting out his album a week or 2 ago, and then him showing up here, like it's great, man. It's great to have the veterans of bars and hip hop come outside. Like this is great, man. It's great. So shout out to Ransom.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah. But speaking of the 7 deadly sins, right? Lust is one of them, right? Teyana Taylor's named the sexiest woman alive by Maxim, which is the first black woman to ever receive such dishonor. Johnnie, your thoughts?
Shout out to Teyana Taylor. I think this is well deserved. Teyana is sexy. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
The craziest thing about this whole her being nominated or elected, the fact that she's the first black woman to be elected, I saw a lot of people up in arms about it. Like, at least for the next 15 or so years, it's going to be a lot of black men and women who is still the first black person to be nominated or elected to something. So we got to stop being upset at that. Like, it's going to be a thing for a while. Now, with that being said, I don't understand why, because Maxim has been doing this for years. Why wouldn't Halle Berry, Tyra Banks, why would they not be selected for this in the past? Because they had very prominent careers or very sexy. I don't know. Not to dim the light on Teyana being elected, but
yeah, you always question the past and things like why. Honestly, I don't care because I never read Maxim. So that's why I don't get rid of the outrage from if you're a reader of Maxim, then you have every right. But in 2021, it still does sound nuts to hear the first black anything or the first Afro-Latino, the first Mexican, the first whatever what I'm saying, whatever it is, it's still nuts to hear that, because the thing is, a lot of these magazines have a Eurocentric standard of beauty, and that's I think where it always stems from. Teyana Taylor to me at first was never really the best looking person. I thought she was funny looking. And you know, she matured into those looks. And then the body does definitely help, but she is extremely talented. I think she's beautiful. You know, beauty's an eye beholder. And you know, I think she's dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to you know, when you start thinking about the black beautiful women that have come before her, you start to question the validity of certain publications and certain awards and things like that. But this is to never negate what Teyana has done and is doing right now.
Yeah. And look, these white run companies, businesses, magazines, TV shows, award shows, they just started messing with black people 5 years ago. So it's going to be another 15 or so years where we're going to hear, oh, the first black woman, the first black man to ever be named to this list or nominated for this award. Or what. Like, it's going to be a thing. So just, I don't know, get used to it, I guess. I don't know. Like, it's going to continue to be a thing. So
yeah,
it's really nothing to be upset about. They just started fucking with us.
Hey man, so salute to the queen Teyana Taylor,
Yeah,
man.
Shout out Teyana.
Shout out Teyana, man. But let's talk about another beautiful black queen that's doing stuff. We have Issa Rae, who's finally wrapped on Insecure season 5.
Yeah.
They recently wrapped over the weekend. Johnnie, do you have any expectations for the final season?
Only thing I'm expecting to do is cry. I'm gonna be crying probably every episode. Like, Insecure has been such a major part of my adult life.
Yeah.
And literally to see it start and end, it's like, man, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. And I can tie the seasons of Insecure to significant points in my adult life, which is another reason why it's so, like, intricate into my adult existence. Like, it's crazy, man. So I'm looking forward to it. They haven't announced a date yet, but just seeing the posts from the cast, all emotional with each other. Yvonne Orji, Issa Rae, Princess, who's the head writer, I believe,
showrunner. Yeah.
It's like, man, like, and seeing their glow up from season 1 to now, it's like, wow.
Kind of like how I talked about Teyana last week.
Yeah. It's
I don't know about Issa season 1, but
Issa now?
Issa now?
Yeah.
Shout out to the wife. No disrespect. But
hey man, you want thin ice? You already told about them hot Cheetos.
No, trust me, I'm good.
Look.
Yeah, we good. Hey,
shout out to Anna.
Hey, I was gonna say something. Never mind.
Save it off.
You know, save it for off. I'll tell you the rebuttal.
Okay,
after
cool.
that. But my thoughts about the final season, I really don't have any thoughts. Like you said, we're mostly invested in the show. I think the greatness of Insecure is the fact that they capitalized on social media, as Issa Rae has always done. And I think that it just put millennial blacks in a great space. It shows us doing everyday regular stuff.
Yes.
We're flawed.
Yes.
We're horny. We're this. We're that. Like, no, seriously.
I know
like,
it's here. It is
right. It's just put us in a regular light. That's why the show is so relatable.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you went to school, if you didn't go to school. Like none of that matters when you watch Insecure, because you just see yourselves in these characters. That's why the show is as popular amongst us. I'm not sure outside our demographic, but definitely amongst us.
Oh, yeah.
That, you know, this show is just, you know, doing its numbers, and that's why it's been able to survive 5 seasons on one of the greatest, you know, show networks of all time, HBO. So I'm excited for this final season.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're calling it quits after 5, you know, seasons, because it can tend to get a little soap opera-y if we get down that slope.
Right.
So I hope there are no spinoffs, none of that goofy shit. End it here, Issa Rae. We appreciate you. We love you, and you know we're gonna support anything that you got moving forward.
That's facts.
And you know, check out the recaps. You know those coming.
Oh yeah, you know that's coming. And we might do individual episode recaps. So you think we should do that?
Man, we can do that.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Because I mean, honestly, they just wrapped the season. You don't know when the trailer's coming, and then maybe, just maybe we might get this by the end of the year.
Oh no. See,
and that might be too soon.
The latest we've had Insecure was like August, September-ish.
But you think we'll have it this long?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's dope. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like it's coming. I feel like it'll be here mid to late August. That's just that's just what I'm thinking.
Okay. I'm thinking.
So we'll see.
Well, we'll see. I have no predictions.
Yeah.
But speaking of something that's reached a finite point or a final point, we have T.I. coming out saying that he's releasing his final album, Kill the King, which will be, I don't think he put a release date on that, but Johnny, you got any thoughts for that?
I think it's an interesting title.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, so the video that was attached to this article,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is supposed to be like the lead single off of it.
Mm-hmm.
If my phone will load. I think the song is called What It's Come To.
Yeah.
And it's geared toward the woman that came out and accused him and Tiny of the sexual assault. And like the beginning of the song in the video is the woman saying, all you have to do is just come out and tell the truth. I'll give you 7 days. Like it's the audio clip of the lady saying that.
Saying that. Oh.
Yeah. I'm like, can you use that? Like, did you clear that?
Well, if anybody knows about the legal system, it's definitely Clifford T.I. Harris. So trust me, he knows the ins and outs of that.
Yeah. Well, if this is truly T.I.'s last album, Libra, which is his most recent album, was actually a really good album. So, I mean, I'm not mad at more T.I. music.
Mm-hmm.
And if he really wants to retire, cool. Like, I know he has a lot of other business ventures out there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm heavily anticipating it, but I definitely want to listen to it when it comes out. T.I. is a legend in hip-hop, a legend in Atlanta. So, I mean, if you want to call it quits, I say go for it, but I really don't think
This will be the last one?
Yeah, like...
Well, this might be his last album, but just him stop rapping, I don't think that'll stop.
Right, same. Like, I feel like rappers should stop announcing retirements. Because it never happens. It never really happens.
Yeah, but this will be T.I.'s 12th studio album, so... it's fair for him to, want to say I'll retire, but, like we said, we keep the same energy when it comes to rappers saying retirement. Just say that shit, bro. But we know that he's going through a mist of legal allegations, him and his wife, for the sexual assault cases that are just coming out of nowhere. I'm not sure if those are actually turning into cases, but the allegations are definitely there. Mm-hmm. So, Kill the King is appropriately titled right now. I always say I reserve my judgment for these things until the trial or, things have come up, till, it goes through the judicial system. So I definitely enjoy T.I.'s music. Has he said some crazy asinine things? Yes. Has he done some crazy asinine things? Yes. But I am still definitely a fan. This will be dope. Like, I enjoy the title. It's appropriate if this is going to be your final.
Right.
He's always going by King. So
right.
I enjoyed the title. I hope it's more of a conceptual album than a rather like a array of songs that like Libra or even Dime Trap was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Like those are good. Like those are solid albums. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. But if you go say Kill the King, come with a little bit more concept.
Got you. I see what you're saying. I wouldn't be mad at that. Mm-hmm. It would be cool if this is like a journey through his rap, like an album of his journey through his rap career. Like where he kind of recalls like or revisits Urban Legend and then all the way up to Libra or something like that. Okay. Conceptually.
Okay.
That would be cool.
I can rock with that because at first I was about to say, nah, we don't need that again because that's Paper Trail all over again because Paper Trail was I think it was a very, 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 very solid album. Mm-hmm. But he had just got out of prison. There was a lot of apology tours and shit. I'm sorry about the guns and all that. Come on, man. Dead and Gone, Justin Timberlake, all that group. Man, listen, friend.
Yeah, you like Dead and Gone?
No, Dead and Gone's cool, but it's just like it felt like the album, like kind of like going back to it. Mm-hmm. That's all it was about.
Okay, I got you. It was a paper trail.
Jesus Christ.
It was a paper trail.
Right.
I'm Illy was hard. Start out the...
I'm Illy was one of the coldest intros.
Yeah.
That wasn't even the intro. That was just the second song. I remember that. Like, he snapped.
Rapping for the Hamlin bit. Hamlin Ridge. Yeah, that shit was good. That shit was good.
Look, man.
Hey, that might be my song. No.
But yeah.
Shout out to T.I., man. But no, seriously. Like, the video watch that shit. Like, if you got the time, like, watch it. I encourage y'all to watch it because that shit was wild. The fact that he even did the song and put the video out is wild. Like, shit was crazy.
feel that, man. But now we have reached the end of the OS News docket this week. You know, that was definitely all of our news topics. But, you know, we definitely got to get into some OS shit. You know, who would we be if we didn't go here, man?
Yeah, man.
Now, I have to say this first. I hate whoever came up with Mount Rushmore. Whoever decided to carve 4 presidents' heads in that damn mountain in South Dakota. I hate you. I hate you. I hate your white soul. I hate you because I know that's who did this.
I hate everything about you.
I hate everything about him because we get to these debates. It happens. It happens in sports. It happens in music. It happens across the goddamn board. We gotta pick 4 people to put on this damn mountain. And it leads to chaos.
Always.
Always it leads to chaos, man. But let's just start here because Mount Rushmore has been the topic of debate when it comes to rap, especially these 2 weeks in social media land. But my mixtapes put out a recent image on Twitter, which is the ATL Mount Rushmore. Interesting enough, they say that these are the GOATs of Atlanta. You have Jeezy, you have Future, you have Rich Homie Quan, and then you have Lil Baby. It's so much wrong here.
Somebody's child did this. Somebody's new era.
I don't even think
somebody's intern.
Yeah, somebody's intern. I wouldn't give a child too much credit on this because I don't think the children listen to Jeezy or appreciate Jeezy in a way that maybe someone our ages will.
Okay.
I'm
not mad at that.
Like, but these last 3, I can see. I can see. Future has a claim to GOATness in a sense, just off success, right? But never over. Like, I would never put Future over anybody
from Atlanta.
Never. But he has the hits. He has the influence. He has all of those things. So where do we start? Where do we even begin?
That's right? The thing. Like when you think about a Mount Rushmore, it's so many avenues and ways you can begin to put people on here. Are you looking in terms of success?
Yep.
Are you looking in terms of influence?
Yep.
Are you looking in terms of longevity? Like, what are you looking at when it comes to a Mount Rushmore? And I feel like that's where you have to start with these types of things because these 4 people that they have on here have no correlation at all. I feel like
they don't make the final list.
And
the strongest person you may want to give Jeezy, maybe, but when I start naming names, he gets knocked down.
Yeah, of course. And honestly, the only reason right now I would say Lil Baby doesn't go on here is because he's literally in the middle or the start of his career. Like, I feel like Lil Baby is one of the hip hop artists today that's going to have longevity in his career. Like, he's on a run right now. He gets to a point where he wants to take a break and comes back. I feel like Lil Baby is going to have a long career if he wants to have one.
I'll say this. Rappers across the board, right? No matter how you slice it, they have like maybe a prime that lasts 4 to 5 years, where they're the tip top. Not to say they can't make consistently good music after the fact,
right?
But it's a 5-year pocket where they're unstoppable.
Do you think he's in there right now?
Baby's in that
right
because
now?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because Baby first album, if you go look at Apple Music, is 2017. I saw potential there.
Okay.
It may not be the most refined, version.
Yeah, it was the beginning of his career.
So I think he's in the middle of that. Like, I think he's somewhere in that. He might be like year 2 or 3.
Okay, and that's what I was going to ask you. So you think he's in the middle of his 5-year prime run? Okay. You know what? I don't think I'm mad at that. So because of that, he doesn't go on
because he's not missing.
Right.
But if you make a Mount Rushmore of an era of ATL rappers 20 years from now and talk about this time,
oh yeah,
Baby's on there.
100%. But right now, no. This is Rich Homie Quan, right?
Yeah.
Now.
You even gotta be respectful.
Listen, I mean, right, because I'm sitting here trying to make a case, but it's like, my man did have he had a moment, but it didn't last long. He tried to come back, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Like, no, Rich Homie Quan does not go on about Rushmore.
Jeezy and Future have strong, very, 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 very strong cases, right?
Yeah,
but no.
Nah.
And this is coming from, you would say a fan of both, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you start, do you start with rappers or do you start with the GOAT of all of it, right? Do you start with JD? Does JD go on here? JD's not a rapper, but he lives, like, Atlanta hip-hop is not Atlanta without him.
Okay.
Yeah, there are people that are probably like predecessors to JD, but the success of what JD did makes Atlanta Atlanta.
Yeah.
The city, the music,
The
hip-hop, the
culture. Yeah, like
it,
you can't
utter Atlanta.
a person that literally begun the curation of Atlanta hip hop culture should go on the Mount Rushmore. He should. Simple as that. Now the next doozy of a question is, do you put Outkast as a group? Do you put them individually, or do you just choose one?
Well, that choose one shit is out because
Okay.
I hate, and I know you're not doing this, but I know the masses will. We're not gonna keep giving 3 Stacks all that praise.
Oh, I agree.
Without the back, like the backing, right? Because like the mixtapes, the solo work, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna separate Big Boy.
Yep.
Because Andre doesn't become Andre without his partner in rhyme being there.
Yeah, they're a duo.
They're a duo. So if you put Cast up there, which Cast gets a spot, but this is not a group thing. But Cast deserves a spot because they're the ATL GOATs. They're one of those.
Yes. Now, I guess what I'm asking is, do they take up 2 spots since it's 2 of them, or is Outkast collectively
that's
one spot?
Collectively one spot.
Okay, got you. Okay, cool.
Because now you got 2 spots left.
Yeah. Right.
This is where it gets tricky. T.I. gets a spot. Off rip to me.
Bro, that's why
Tip gets a spot.
That's why this is my man's.
Because no matter how you slice it, you can say 3 Stacks is the better technically sound rapper. But the best rapper to come out of Atlanta that is a solo artist that puts Atlanta on his back is Clifford T.I. Harris. And there's no debating that.
It's true.
The forefather of, one of the forefathers of the trap movement, because he's not the only one, but you get a lot of that with Tip. He gets a spot.
Yeah.
So now we down to 1. And it gets real tricky. Because honestly, as great as Ludacris is, he doesn't get a spot. Because this is we often have these talks about Gucci being a legend. So does Gucci get the 4th spot? In my opinion, he does. Because Gucci, like, if you made a Gucci tree, his DNA is all through a lot of these rappers. A lot of them. Atlanta is Gucci and Gucci is Atlanta. East Atlanta Sound. Nobody puts on for Zone 6 more than Gucci Roderick Davis. Now that's 4.
I don't think.
And that's like, damn.
I don't think I'm 100% mad at Gucci being on there. But I feel like there's a possibility that Gucci and T.I. can be interchangeable. Now, who I would put in that 4th spot?
That's where it gets tricky then.
I don't know.
Because the trap sound is Atlanta, and Atlanta is the trap sound.
True. Damn, I kind of want to put Ludacris, but I don't know if I can make a strong enough case for Luda to be on a Mount Rushmore. Would he be like 6, 7, 8?
Yes.
Then yeah.
Yes. But of the 4, no.
God damn.
Of the 4, no. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Ludacris is a great representation of Atlanta, but I don't know if he's a flag bearer for it. And when you're a flag bearer for it, like the 4 that I named, nobody really encompasses Atlanta the way that these 4 or 5 guys. I'm sorry, 5. But these 4 spots are. That's the reason why I would give Gucci agency over Ludacris.
Mm-hmm.
This is not necessarily the music debate. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
you would say, you know, Ludacris is the better rapper.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Honestly, like you can expand it so much more because like Jeezy has a head here.
Mm-hmm.
He can be in that 6, 7, 8 spot. I don't think this is unpopular, but you don't even have to be a fan of his music, but you have to understand how long he's been around and the influence that he has on Lils, even though he's a hybrid of Gucci and Lil Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Young Thug has been active since like 2012.
Mm-hmm.
He's still active.
He's still active
right now. Very active. I don't think Young Thug has ever not been relevant. And he has influence and agency over the littles, like the little babies and stuff. Like they look up to Thug. He's one of the bigger homies to them.
Yeah. Like I'm really perplexed as to who can go in this fourth spot. Like I don't want to leave it at Gucci.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not mad at that choice.
You're trying to figure out who can, but the
Yeah.
resume or the argument won't be enough.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And the person, and like while we're talking, I've been trying to make an argument and a case for this person, but I can't. CeeLo.
That's interesting.
When you brought up the point of Gucci carrying Atlanta or being the flag bearer for Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that for CeeLo.
No, you can't. Because CeeLo, are you talking about rapping or are you talking about the star power?
Well, that's the thing. Both.
Okay.
Like all of it. And even his Norris Barkley shit. Like CeeLo has been able to cross genres. He has had a major impact on hip hop, on pop, on alternative music.
Mm-hmm.
Been on TV shows. Like he has the star power and the music to back it up. But as far as like he reps Atlanta, but he's not the flag bearer as you know the rest of the people that we've named.
Yeah, like CeeLo's one of those interesting cases because he has a huge name, and if we're talking about everything he did up until he went solo, then I would even say some of those first two albums, I wouldn't give him the Norris Barkley stuff, you know, the agency,
Okay.
that, you know, into this argument.
Okay.
Because we still saw CeeLo as kind of like Goody Mob CeeLo still.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because even some of those solo albums were fire. You know what I'm saying? If you went and go listen to them, you know what I'm saying? CeeLo is an extremely unique talent because of his rapping and singing ability.
Mm-hmm.
But Goody Mob, Dungeon Family, Outkast is all kind of that same umbrella. So I think that if we give Cass the win in that argument, I think that maybe it kind of falls under that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, it's a cheating way of saying it, but yeah. Because if you ask like maybe somebody that's a little bit more, you know, seasoned than us, they probably would say Goody Mob deserves or Dungeon Family deserves a spot. You know what I'm saying?
And Outkast will be included.
But Outkast will be included in what the Dungeon Family is.
Got you. All right, I'm right. Yeah, I was trying to make a case in my head, but I couldn't do it. Fable. No.
Yes, he's the GOAT. Yes, Lord Fabian. Talk to him nice.
Fucking Fable.
Fable.
That's funny.
Shout it out. Let's go for this. Expanded. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, damn! I might have to rock with Gucci in the fourth spot.
I know, man. I know. And this is not necessarily to my brother Johnnie because we do this all the time about Gucci, but to the people that don't think,
I mean,
that like absolutely not, you got life fucked up. Gucci revolutionized mixtapes, man. Like
true.
you ain't gotta listen to him, but he got 89 of them. 89.
That's crazy. Like, think about that.
And he got a new album coming out soon.
We're not talking about like 4 and 5 song mixtapes either.
Oh, no.
Like, we talking
at least 12,
album
15, 17
like,
songs. Like,
album length mixtapes. There are 89
all those ugly mixtape covers you all them covers.
Yes. Like that's crazy. he recorded more than Tupac. Like, that's nuts.
And then if you want to expand it even further, we talked about how great Migos was in the pantheon of hip hop groups. Migos deserves a spot.
Yeah, as a group, like
as a group,
I'm not mad at them getting a spot, but I would say not right now. Same.
But I think, like, even if you capped it off at Culture 3, they've done enough because they got influence.
Yeah,
that's the bigger part of a lot of this here, because if you're talking about the music, yeah, it's an argument, but the influence definitely helps your argument.
Well, you know what? I personally would take Gucci off because I feel like him and T.I. are interchangeable. Then I will put Migos as a group in spot 4. As the youngest out of the 4 spots. And the fact that they have had the influence on music, not just Atlanta music, on music in hip hop.
You don't think Gucci had that either?
I'm not saying Gucci didn't have.
Oh, okay. You're not arguing against.
I'm just saying. I would put it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because him, Gucci, and T.I., like, I feel like I can interchange them.
Okay.
So,
but that shows how great that a lot of these artists are. We're spreading them out. Because like we didn't put Jeezy, we didn't put Ludacris, we didn't put. It's a lot.
But and those people come in those 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th spots. Like they would be next up, but we have these 4 people.
But you have to do Atlanta, I guess, in like maybe like eras or tiers or something like that, because that's where it gets tricky. That's why it can only be 4.
Right. And man, that would be crazy. So and I feel like when we talk about Mount Rushmore when it comes to hip hop artists, regions, it's probably best to do them in eras because hip hop is a 50-year-old genre, right? And we've had so much to go on throughout these 50 years, especially when you break it down to regions. So Atlanta, we probably could do an era, an Atlanta era Mount Rushmore where we could do 90s, 2000s, 2010s up until now. We could do the same thing for the West Coast. We could do the same thing for the East Coast. So it's all about how you want to break it down, basically.
Yeah, and that's why I brought up the point of rappers having the prime, having a 4 or 5 year window where they're just undoubtedly that person. So that's why you start looking at it like, well, who was hot between these, and like you could not touch them between these years.
Facts.
That's why you start to see a lot of people just break it down by era, and then you see it done in, like you said, sports and other avenues. But like I said, I hate the white man that came up with the Mount Rushmore.
Imagine how cocky you have to be to say, it's a big ass mountain right there. You about to carve some faces in it, and you gonna carve the faces I want you to carve in it.
And then
what does it? And then you do it. I'm not sure exactly when Mount Rushmore was carved, but we done had a slew of presidents since, and then maybe depending on how you feel about said presidents, you will put them up there. Right. That's crazy.
Because if that's the case, a lot of people take George Washington and Thomas Jefferson off, just off the strength. Like, we'll keep Roosevelt and we'll keep Lincoln, because we know they at least fuck with black people to an extent. But we're not going to keep the slave owners up there. Them niggas got to go.
That's crazy. That's really crazy. Damn, this was fun. But like, man, it's so interesting. Like, we see all these lists and Mount Rushmores and shit come out, and it's like it really is all opinion. Like, I mean, cause somebody could be like, y'all tripping. Why the fuck would y'all put? Why would y'all put Jermaine Dupri? He ain't even a rapper. He can't rap.
But
I mean,
we got a whole podcast listing reasons about why we will put JD as the Atlanta GOAT.
Facts. So yeah, man, that was dope. You got anything else?
Oh no, man, we good, man. We getting the song of the week.
All right, cool. Well, if you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate y'all for getting this far. Please hit the like button, share, make sure you subscribe to catch our future updates. Leave us a comment on the episode, and we'll catch y'all next week. And